Hello and welcome to Expedition 33. This is the big game that I was talking about in last video, in the Ace Combat 7 video. This is the big game that I played. It took me a billion years to get through it. I hated this game at some points. I love this game at some points. This game is a roller coaster. We'll say it's a roller coaster because it was nuts. All right, but I actually did really enjoy this game. We'll get into it. But I really did enjoy this game. I hope you guys enjoy me yapping about the games that I complete and the games that I finish and what I do, and me getting bored and just being like, "Hey y'all, I did this." We can start out. Let's start out with the environments. Let's start out with a bang, because every environment in this game is fucking incredible. It all looks sick. It all looks so cool. There's like the first place that you get into, and it's literally like I'm a big ocean guy, right? I love the ocean. And there's a Cthulhu game coming out later. I'm like, that's hype. That's awesome. Even though Cthulhu is obviously not real, but I really like that area. And that being kind of the first one that it's like, oh shoot, you walk in and it's that. It's you see fish flying around. It's almost like Death Stranding 2. In Death Stranding 2, you go into, I forgot what it was. It's been so long since I've played, but you have a point where like you are in like a hospital and there's like big ass whales swimming by, and it's like, whoa, that's sick. It's really, really cool. And you have other places like you have like a redwoods kind of place. You have like you have all of the above. Everywhere is incredible in this game, whether it's in beauty or it's in like, I mean, I guess I just consider and keep it beauty because it just looks great. It looks incredible. We can move into the graphics after that too, because the graphics are some of the like them talking in the cutscenes looks a little goofy. I will admit, sometimes it looks goofy, and I don't know if that's because it's translated from another language to English for us to see, or if it's just the game engine, or if it just looks a little goofy. But sometimes, and that doesn't take away from the game at all. It doesn't take away from the story or like what's happening. I'm just saying it looks a little goofy. That's not really a negative point or nothing like that. But it's just, it kind of, for me at least, I caught it, and I was like, that's strange. You also have the enemy variety and the enemy types within this game. Like, you just saw the Axons come in this fight. Everything is insane. It's so sick. None of the designs are really the same. I guess you have some slight variants and you have some like different versions of them, but it doesn't really, nothing's too similar. It's not like God of War 2018 where you have like an ogre that's purple and blue, and that's kind of the basic gist of it. But like everything looks incredible. Like even us fighting Renoir right now, like his design's sick. All of the Axons behind him are awesome. The different enemies within the Axon areas, it's all so cool. It's super, super awesome to see and like not enjoy, but like I guess halfway enjoy, but like just see and understand and be able to like fight them and whatnot. So the turn-based mechanic is super fun as well. Like as you can see throughout this fight, I really enjoy. I haven't seen a turn-based mechanic like this. Now there could be other games out that have this kind of turn-based mechanic, but I have not seen them. And if there is, let me know, obviously. But this, like when you parry and when you dodge, it's super satisfying. Like in this final fight, I use both parry and dodge. Throughout most of the game, I use parry just because it is a little more beneficial, because you can get a move off of it if you parry everything. You get more AP. I really enjoyed just the parry mechanic, and like I'm gonna play Sekiro after this, just because it has like the parry mechanic and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, and the Pictos, you have a Picto mechanic that gives you like different buffs with different things, like Mael. I gave Mael like a second chance thing. She also has something that gives her double burn, which is why you see me just always rain of firing. I think those are really cool for build crafting. Like you can create some crazy insane builds that some people have made, and you can create A bunch of things like one-shot builds, or you can have a bunch of things where you can build up to one giant attack that does 20 million damage, or you can do all these things. We can enter kind of the story of this game. I really enjoyed the story. It's a giant story of grief, essentially. But at the beginning of the game, like, the central objective is to kill the Paintress, right? You're like, okay, I need to kill the Paintress to save Lumiere, and then you get to a point where it's like, oh fuck, Lumiere's not even a real place. This is a canvas. It's all inside of a canvas. And Mael is actually Alicia from an outside family, the Demetre family, something like that. I'm sorry if I said that wrong, or but in that family, in the real world, you have the writers and you have the painters, and the writers, and forgive me if I'm wrong. If I'm completely wrong, let me know. Shoot a comment, because sometimes I have trouble working some things out. Because this story, it took me a while to kind of get the grasp of everything, because I'm a little dumb. Sometimes it's hard for me to understand things. But basically, the writers started a fire to try to kill Mael, try to kill Alicia, but Verso, who's in our team, Verso in real life sacrificed himself to save Mael, and then that threw the family into grief and threw the mother into this painting, because every painting you make, you have a little bit of your soul into. So the mom came in here, created a whole world for her to not really grieve, but kind of avoid the fact that her son is not here anymore. But yeah, you learn, and that's kind of where it all opens up, and it's crazy. You're like, whoa. I thought it was just like Lumiere, you had old Lumiere, you had all these places, but you have like a whole nother addition onto it. Like, at the end, you have a point where it's like, do you want to destroy the canvas, or do you want to keep the canvas? And I really like that you can get both decisions to do whatever you want with it. Like, if you want to keep it, if you want to take it away. And even like all the characters, all of the family, you have all of the family in the real world that's in this, like, who we're fighting is the father, you have the mother who was the paintress, who they were fighting each other because Renoir wanted to get the mother out of the canvas and destroy the canvas so the family could grieve properly and not just be sucked into this world where, like, it's not real and it doesn't let them grieve properly. So it became a standstill, and then you learned that the Gommage, which was taking people away at, like, whatever age it was, so if it was at, like, 34, it'd kill everyone that was 34 years old. It was the mom trying to keep the canvas alive, but Renoir getting stronger and stronger. And every time the Gommage happened, it was obviously just Renoir trying to erase the canvas, which was pretty cool detail. I'm not gonna lie, that threw me for a loop too. But getting back into, like, the characters, you have the characters within Lumiere. You have this whole world where you have Gustave, you have Verso, Mael, you have Monoko on the right there, you have Lune, you have Ciel. I adore all the characters in this game. I like the way that, like, you have the mask Axon, who's on the right there, who tries to, like, puts a mask on everyone because everyone's hiding something, and then they have Ciel that doesn't have it because she is open and honest with everyone about, like, things that's going on with her. Now, don't get me wrong, again, Ciel doesn't really exist, right? It's within a canvas, which would be so cool. And that's why I really enjoy the fact that it's, like, it's all within a canvas, because some people, that's why they make art. And that's why art is actually created, because people create little worlds, and people with imagination create things and make stories with them, or they just make things that look nice. And that's essentially what this is. It's just a living, moving world within someone's within Verso's canvas. But within the characters, like, you have meaningful characters die. You start off with Gustave, right? and then you get to a point where Gustav dies at the hands of Painted Renoir, I think, and that was unbelievable. When that happened, it threw a wrench into the whole thing. It was he died to Painted Renoir, but they were just throwing rocks. They were getting ready to cross the continent and go to like where they needed to kill the Paintress, and then he gets shot by like a beam of light. And that was unbelievable. You never think that like the main character could die, but he does. He dies quick too, like quick in the story, or quick into the game, and it's kind of throws you for a loop. You're like, oh shit, and then Mael becomes the major point of the story because the entire story it pretty much like teases her to be, like her to be kind of bigger than what she is and what we're seeing right now. But then you have other characters that you can figure out about later on, like even after the story or before the story if you do a bunch of the side content. But you have people like Simon, who you get to a point where you're like, oh, someone already killed an Axon. There's supposed to be 4 of them, but one of them's already dead. And the person who killed him was Simon. I really enjoy that in this Canvas world. There's still lore to be found. Like, it's not just... Hi, Danny. It's not just like I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just so cool that you can still go around and find things. Like I like in games where you can, like in The Last of Us Part 2, you had points where, like you figure out about a bank robbery that happened right as the outbreak happened, or you find out stories about people like living their lives or being betrayed by people, and then them betraying them back. Like, I like that, and I like that Simon is that kind of character where it's there's supposed to be 4 Axons, but there's only 3 because Simon had already killed one of them. So like just little tidbits, and then you have a bunch of previous expeditions journals that are all able to be found and like tell you stories of what people did before you were even here, before the points of the game. And I really like that part as well. The fact that you're kind of coming in the middle of the story. I remember talking, I don't know who it was, one of my buddies said that they didn't like that. That they didn't like that they kind of came in at the middle of the story, and I disagree with that. I like that you can figure out stuff that came before and then you are the story after. I really enjoy the fact that that's the case. Like, you come in and you can find stuff that teach you about the past in this world, even though it is just a fictional painted world. But yeah, I gave this game a 9 out of 10. This game was incredible. It hits you in the feels with a lot of the things that happen, whether it's this story about grief, or whether it's Gustav dying, or you have Eskia being able to traverse with him, or being able to do these sorts of things. I just really... And, like, even now you see within this cutscene, with, like, all the pedals and the way the engine works, it's really, really an incredible... I don't want to say feat, but like it just looks great and it's a great experience. And I gave this game a 9 out of 10 because I just really, really thoroughly enjoyed it. It was fun. It was challenging in some points, and don't get me wrong, there were some points that happens within any of these games that I just get frustrated, right? Like playing through Elden Ring, or playing through even like I haven't beat Bloodborne, but even playing through Bloodborne, or playing through any other holes? Like, well, you have difficult games where you have points where you're frustrated with it, and you're like, man, this kind of blows. I had those moments with this game, but it was just because of me playing it so long and so often, because I wanted to continue the story and figure out what was going on, and figure out what was happening between characters, and figure out all these things. And I thoroughly enjoyed this game, and I really do recommend it. And it was... I think it deserved Game of the Year because Death Stranding 2 just kind of it was really good, and I think I gave that a 9 out of 10 as well. It's just it has that Kojima charm, and I'm not for that Kojima charm. So that's why I think, not that I hate it, it's just sometimes it breaks the immersion a little too much for me. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed me rambling about Expedition 33, rambling about this game. Oh, hang on, we got to go back to the cutscenes, because these cutscenes just look incredible, even with the talking looking a little goofy. They were just super fun, and there's like, yeah, this is just a good game. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed me rambling on about Expedition 33. I'm not sure what the next game I'll play. I'm in between games right now, so we will have to see. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.